GT Vegeta is a character I always wanted inside of Xenoverse 2, and well, in the summer of 2022, that happened. He finally arrived in the game, and even to this day, he's actually a pretty solid character, with already a pretty good Super Soul, though it isn't the best. But with my project in revamping all the cast characters to make them way more fun to play as, and it maybe even be better than some CAC builds, I decided that the next batch of characters I'm going to be updating is actually more GT themed, and for the highlight today, I want to talk to you guys about how I buffed GT Vegeta. Now, as usual with all these updates, GT Vegeta isn't the only character who received one. 4 other characters as well have received them. We won't be covering them in this video, but on Warden Games, my second channel, we will be covering them. Those characters consist of Goku GT, who is very good with melee-based combat and being able to tank a lot of attacks and be very agile. Super 17 is another character who is getting buffed, who is insanely powerful and might be unstoppable after he completely builds up. Trunks GT as well has gotten a Super Soul, who is a great distraction character, being able to target the enemy by forcing them to lock onto him by using Dancing Par and getting some extra damage reduction during this time period. This is great to allow your allies to build up. And Pan as well, who is just a strike version of Supreme Kai of Time. Supreme Kai of Time is a Ki Blast support for all characters. Pan is a strike support for all characters, so get your strike builds ready. But today's highlight is obviously GT Vegeta, one of my personal favorite characters inside of the Dragon Ball franchise, and one of my favorite forms of Vegeta himself. So without any further ado, let's get into it. GT Vegeta now has a character-exclusive Super Soul on his only variation present inside of Xenoverse 2, his base variation. His Super Soul is called You Bastard. That wasn't bad. Where at the start of the match, the following effects apply to self. He gets a 20% base max health increase. GT Vegeta doesn't have a ton of health, so I wanted to, bump that up a tiny bit. His second effect is he gets a 60% base max ki increase and a 100% ki recovery increase. This is more to reminisce his old Super Soul, which actually gave him a chance to refill his ki immediately when he uses a super attack. While that may not be the main focus of this new Super Soul, I wanted to leave something, a little callback to that Super Soul ability inside of this effect, giving him a ton of ki recovery. That extra max ki will come in handy because GT Vegeta actually presents the final Shine attack as one of his moves in his arsenal, so he's going to get great use out of that with his extra ki. GT Vegeta in his third effect actually gets a 50% boost to his max stamina and stamina recovery. GT Vegeta already has alright stamina, but boosting it up a little bit to keep him on his feet inside of hard content is definitely something I felt was in order. GT Vegeta for his fourth effect actually gets a base 40% inflicted damage boost. This is because most of these characters now are getting inflicted damage boosts, and GT Vegeta definitely needs to be able to keep up with the pack by being able to pack a punch himself with his 40% boost. GT Vegeta for his fifth effect actually gains a 25% damage reduction boost. This is very useful, as GT Vegeta will be able to actually tank a little bit in some very hard content, or maybe even some PvP games against some very powerful CAC builds, or even some other cast characters at this point. So that 25% damage reduction is going to come in handy. The sixth effect for GT Vegeta, he actually gets a revival HP boost of 10% when he dies and revives. This is an effect that only Majin Vegeta has, and it's a very good effect as well. Being able to get extra HP when you revive is something extremely valuable. When you go down inside of hard content, you're not able to heal unless you use an item. However, GT Vegeta being able to heal up that extra damage he took, being able to get a second chance in the fight, is definitely something extremely valuable if you ask me. And for his seventh effect, like all other characters, he gets a 50% boost effects gained when boosting allies. This, of course, is to allow allies to be able to perform better inside a parallel quest, and all content when you use the assist feature, which sucks ass in the original game. Those are GT Vegeta's stats. Honestly, I think he's a very well-rounded individual. He's more, I still feel like blast-based, but even with the extra stamina and his extra inflicted damage, he can do a lot of extra melee damage as well, if you ask me. Vegeta, though, as we all know, all these Super Souls actually get, a little bit more interesting when we hit the next effect after the stats, so let's get into it. So, effect 8 is when this character receives an attack, there's a 3% chance the following effect will occur to the targeted enemy for 12 seconds, activates 10 times. Seals all enemies' skills. This is an insanely great ability. When you're getting attacked and you get hit, there's a 3% chance the enemy's skills will be locked. This is great because not only does it, of course, lock their skills and prevent them from doing crazy stuff, especially in hard parallel quests, but this also cancels their transformations. So if they have a very powerful transformation active, having this ability active will prevent them from being transformed, and you are able to lay on the offensive. The ninth effect is when this character receives an attack, there is a 5% chance the following effects occur to self. One time only, a permanent buff. Vegeta will get an additional 30% stamina and 50% stamina recovery. think of 30% stamina as a 4.5 stamina bar boost. He already gets 50%, but this extra bit of stamina will help him, and the extra stamina recovery complements the extra stamina he gets. If he's able to get this little buff off, you're going to be very hard to catch inside of a parallel quest or even a PvP game, though his effect is lightened in PvP. We'll be going over his PvP solo on the other channel. The second effect of Effect 9, he actually gets a 110% inflicted damage boost. This is pretty crazy, as if you're able to get hit, you need to actually get hit. Though it does activate if you block. So if you're blocking, you can still get this effect to activate, though it does not activate with Just Guard, so keep that in mind. If you're able to get this 5% to trigger, you might need to stand in front of an ultimate attack or two. But I guarantee you, it'll be worth it if you're able to. If you're able to die from this ability activating, well, you get some extra revival HP, so that's something to look forward to, right? And his last effective Effect 9 is, for the rest of the fight, he will restore his own health by 1% every second. This is great, because a lot of quests nowadays actually disable item usage, and this is due to the fact the Xeno button exists. The biggest mistake in Xenoverse 2, if you ask me, with no way to heal unless the quest provides a way to heal, or just the tough content in general, you won't be healing and you will be taking all the damage in the world. However, being able to heal up permanently, just passively like this, while it may not be very fast, the extra damage reduction Vegeta gets might be able to buy him enough time to heal up a tiny bit. And remember, when you die, you're actually able to get a bit of extra revival HP. So definitely take advantage of that if you can. So hopefully you guys are looking forward to play as GT Vegeta in this next update for my Cast character revamp project. I hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget, by the way, guys, I did go over the new character details for Goku GT and all of them on the second channel. So if you want to hear those details, feel free to check that out. But I'm all out of time for today. I will see you all in the next one. Peace.